Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So today we are going to look into Azure resource groups, what are the cloud models, and IaaS, PaaS and SaaS, and also serverless. So let's get started. So first of all, let us take a look at the public cloud models, the cloud models. And in there we have three categories. One is the private clouds, one is the public clouds, and another is the hybrid cloud. So private cloud is on premises. For example, an example of that would be OpenStack. We will look into the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS, and the on premises, where we'll discuss about the on premises roles and responsibilities. But in private clouds you have to take care of everything by yourself, and a private cloud is an example of a capital expenditure, where you need to spend everything upfront to set up your own data center and take care of all the networking, storage and everything. Then we have the public clouds, and all the public cloud service providers come under that category, where it is operational expenditure. You pay only for what you use. So examples for that would be Microsoft Azure, AWS, GCP, OCI, and so on and so forth. We have another very booming cloud model that is used rigorously in these times is hybrid cloud, which is a combination of both private and public cloud. So private cloud is used for the part where you have compliance, you have to store your data in your own data center, or you have sensitive data that you cannot store elsewhere. Not that it is not, public cloud is not safe, but it is just that there are some compliance and you need to follow that. So then you have a combination of both private and public cloud, and it is known as hybrid cloud. Alright, so once we know about this cloud models, let us go ahead and look into the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS services, and also on premises, and the roles and responsibilities. So as you can see that the green part is what we manage as consumers or as customers, and we manage in on premises literally everything, starting from storage, network, compute, VM, operating system, runtime, application, data and access. Everything is under our control. That is one of the benefits, but it is also our responsibility to look at all of this. Okay, so now let us go into the public cloud sphere, and let us see into the different types of services. So the first is infrastructure as a services, where the cloud provider manages the compute, the networking, the storage, but you need to manage the VM, the operating system, runtime, application, data and access. Right, so the runtime, by runtime it means that till the time you want to run, and the time your application or your infrastructure would be up, would be taken care by you. Okay, so you have to maintain the schedule time, or you have to maintain by yourself the start and the end time of your resources. So that is made by runtime. So an example of this would be Azure virtual machines, and it comes under the infrastructure as a service. Other examples, if you look into it, would be the Azure disk storage, the Azure networking, security, management and governance, and all of this comes under the IaaS as a service. IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Then we go forward to platform as a service, where we have all of this taken care of by the cloud provider managers. So it's basically, you can say IaaS, which is still compute, plus they also take care of the virtual machine, your VM, your operating system, and the runtime. So means that the time you use that service, it will only be up till that time and not more than that. So in case of IaaS, if you don't use, and the your infrastructure or the VMs that you're running are idle, you still need to pay for them. So Azure would not come and shut down your VM unless you tell them to do so. But in case of platform as a service, for example Azure app service, only the time you're using, you'll be charged for that. If it is idle and you're not using that service, then it will not be charged. Alright, so the things that you need to take care of in this is the application part, which application you want to deploy, and the data and access of that. Alright, so another service would be software as a service, in which you need to take the cloud provider manager will take care of PaaS, which is still runtime, plus also they will take care of the application. So you don't need to take care of the application. They will completely control that, and it is their responsibility, it is their lookout. So another example of this would be Microsoft 365, where you need to just maintain the data and access what data you are putting in, and the access, who are going to see that, and everything. All right, so these are basically the services, the public cloud services, the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. We have another type of service which is serverless. So serverless computing enables developers to build application faster by eliminating the need for them to manage infrastructure. So you don't need to manage any infrastructure. It is completely taken care by the Azure team. All right. Then it also provides dynamic scalability, faster time to market, more efficient use of resources. All right. So uh, the complete with serverless application, the cloud service provider automatically provisions, scales and manages the infrastructure required to run the code. So you provide some data for them to run and execute, and you just have to take care of that. What you want to run, what you want to execute, that is your lookout. Rest everything, starting from the infrastructure management to the scalability, to the marketing and the efficiency, everything is taken care by the cloud provider, and in this case Azure. Okay, so this is one of the most you can say most used, and one of the most demanded service used by the from the cloud, where the underlying servers and everything and the whole infrastructure, it is managed by the cloud service provider, and you just need to put in your data, what you want to run, and it will execute, scale by itself, and you don't need to take care of any of that. The cloud service provider, and in this case Azure, will take care of that. So let us go forward. In understanding the definition of serverless computing, it is important to know that the servers are still running the code. The serverless name comes from the fact that the tasks associated with infrastructure provisioning and management are invisible to the developer. So in this scenario, there are underlying servers, but serverless does not mean that there are no servers. There are underlying servers, but you don't need to take care of that, right? The infrastructure provisioning and management are invisible, are abstracted from you. So this approach enables developers to increase their focus on the business logic and deliver more value to the core of the business. So once your focus or attention shifts only to what you want to run, your code, your business logic, then you have more time to think about it. You don't have to think about infrastructure provisioning, the management and everything. So in that scenario, it will be beneficial for your business, and it will help your business to scale. So serverless computing helps team increase their productivity and bring products to market faster, and it allows organization to better optimize resources and stay focused on innovation. So it will help you to build up your scale, your company scale, without looking out for the management part, the dynamic scalability. The scalability will take place within seconds. So if you have more traffic coming in to your application, you can scale within seconds with serverless. Faster time to market, reduce the operation dependencies, each development cycle, so you can roll out faster, more efficient use of resources. Shifting to serverless technology help organizations reduce TCO and reallocate resources to accelerate the pace of innovation. So the resources that you're using is proper, and there are no unnecessary usage of resources, so it will help you in cost efficiency, as well as help you maintain the integrity of your application. All right, so once we know about the cloud models and the services provided by cloud service providers, let us now move to resource groups. So what are Azure resource group? So Azure resource groups are like a container, and it is one of the best part of Azure that makes it stand out from the other cloud service provider, is the efficient way of management. So the resource groups are like container where you can put in your resources, and then it is within that boundary, and then you can provide more resources, and then also manage different stuff for that container. So we'll look into it details. uh, let us go into the Azure portal. So I already created a resource group. We have looked into that in the previous videos, where we created a VM, and we went into the VM using SSH, and worked with the VM and deployed a web server. So in the previous videos, we have already covered this part, so I'll not be covering this in this video. So in this we have two resource group. One is the one that I created a few moments back, and another is a network watcher resource group. So let us go into the demo resource group that I created, and in this you can see that all the resources that I created are present inside the resource group. So this is the boundary within which all my resources are visible, and they are also within this boundary, right? So few other things to look out in the resource group is that I can check the activity log, is all the events or you can say the activity that I performed within this resource group by the person, and the subscription, the timestamp, and the time status, everything can be looked into. This is a very great point where you can, if anything goes wrong, you can come and troubleshoot that, yeah, at this time somebody did something, or maybe I did something and it didn't work out. Okay, so you can also go for the IAM part and also manage everything such as the role-based access management and who can view your resources and stuff like that. Then you can also go for deployments. In deployments you can see that I just did one deployment of creating a Windows VM and I succeeded. And you can also check all the related events, the time duration, the modification date, and everything. Then you have the security part, which is Azure Security Center. You can go ahead and see all the recommendation, and it will help you scale the security aspect of your resource group. Then there is another part where you can go ahead and check all the cost, the budgets, and you can get cost alerts. Then for this maybe you need to change the scope to from as I'm using Azure student subscription, maybe you need to go to a paid or enterprise subscription to use this. So yeah, there are different aspects to the resource group. There are also monitoring. You can go ahead and check the monitoring part. You can set matrix, and you can go for the matrix monitoring as well. Then there is a log section, and you can go ahead and check all the logs, and how to do that, a video is provided as well. So in AZ-900 we don't have in details about all these functionalities, but yeah, you can do all this within the resource group. Also using the Azure Resource Manager, the ARM arm, you can download this, and you can deploy this all these resources within this resource group. You can deploy automatically, right? You have scripts for that as well, using the PowerShell or using the Azure CLI. You can use this. So this is it for today. We covered the cloud models, we covered the services, the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS, and also the serverless, and we also look into the resource group. So we'll be covering further videos on the AZ-900 track. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Comment your views. If you find difficulty, you can share that in the comments as well, or if you have any message for me on how I can share better or contribute better, please let me know, and hit the subscribe button as well. Thank you all, stay safe, have a nice day, cheers, bye.